all the distinguished leaders from the energy sector, environment sector, all delegates, organizers, a very good afternoon to all of you. It is indeed a pleasure and honor for me. I am here and I was asked by the organizers to talk on safe solar, sustainable future, balancing growth with environmental responsibility. So this is the topic on which I'll share some of my thoughts in next 10-12 minutes. So I'll start with two important connections. One is the connection of development and electricity. Recently, the chair of IEA has written an article in which he has said that the world has entered the age of electricity. And I have been sharing this thought over different platforms that although we say that this is a digital age, but often we overlook the fact that the whole digital age is powered by electricity. And when we realize, even in our daily lives also, from the time we wake up to the time we go to sleep, almost every action of ours as an individual or as a society or as a country, all are somehow directly or indirectly related to electricity. And that is why somebody said it, and I see it a very apt way of saying, that electricity is the modern day oxygen. You feel only the absence of it. So this has been made possible by the great development of grid and all the infrastructure. But here comes the second connection which I wanted to make, that is, and which is there in the organizer's name itself. So the connection of electricity with environment. So this is a strong connection, and all of us are aware of it, but I feel it is so important, it should be repeated, that the conventional way of generating electricity is a challenge to the environment. And when you generate a unit of electricity by burning coal, it leads to almost a kg of CO2 emissions, including the transmission and distribution losses. So that is why if we want to protect the environment from further degradation, we have to decarbonize the electricity infrastructure. Of course, we cannot compromise on the generation of electricity. As I have said, it is related to the development of country. In our country itself, you see the growth. Late 90s, we had only less than 100 gigawatt of power grid. Now we have crossed 500 gigawatt. And credible projections say that by 2047, we will have 2,100 gigawatt of electricity infrastructure. So how to balance this developmental requirement for growth, requirement of electricity, without harming the environment, that is where comes the role of solar. Solar is one of the options. There are other options also, but because of its availability, and one more thing which I will come to, this has gained the most important place. So if you see in our country, previous speakers have also talked about, we are guided by two important principles. One is the Panchamrit promises of Honorable Prime Minister and the 3 NDCs which we have submitted. So both have electricity, decarbonization of electricity at the center, and both have solarization as the one of the most, or I would say, major components. So in this, our achievements are remarkable. See, we had in 2010, rupees 17 per kilowatt hour per unit of solar. It was available for 17 rupees. Now it is around 2.5. In some cases, it is less than that also for large projects. So this is a great transformation which has been achieved through great policy making, the involvement of industry, leadership and all. But what is happening? There are two things which I'll use two words. One is decarbonization, which I have mentioned. The other is decentralization of electricity infrastructure. What is happening? The source of electricity, the generation source is coming to the point of consumption. That is why you see rooftop solar plants and all. So we have PM Surya Ghar scheme through which large scale solarization of rooftops is happening. We have PM Kusum through which the solarization of agriculture is happening. So it is a great combination of some utility scale, large scale plants, then decentralized plants, and through that we have achieved this. And we are supposed to continue on the same path. We expect around 1200 gigawatt of solar by 2047, and to achieve net zero will be requiring somewhere around 5000 gigawatt of solar energy. So as of now, decarbonization of electricity infrastructure, solar is the best bet. Now, of course, when you are solarizing, there are certain factors, if they can be considered, it will be much more useful for environment preservation. So now I'll talk about some of these concepts or factors, and I'll include what our institute, that is National Institute of Solar Energy, is doing in that. So the first is making it more environment friendly or more useful for environment. Naturally, first is improving the efficiency of solar generation, converting solar sunshine into electricity, how we improve the efficiency. Although sunshine is freely available, but if the efficiency is increased, you will require lesser space for solar plants. So you see, there has been a series of innovations towards increasing the efficiency of solar panels. In a decade, less than a decade, we have come from 16%, 17% to more than 24%. So the idea is how to absorb maximum possible photons and how to minimize the number of electrons recombination once they are generated. This is the basic idea. So there are so many initiatives in this direction globally, in our country also. So the manufacturing of these panels in our country has been strengthened to a great extent in last 4 or 5 years, and it is more than the requirement of the country. Almost 130 gigawatt is listed and under development. Then cell manufacturing is also has come up in a big way, and all the latest technologies, if you talk about PERC, TOPCon, HJT, bifacial, so all modern technologies are there, and the improvement in efficiency is an important area because it reduces the requirement of space. Then the work towards perovskite panels. So if it happens, then it will be a breakthrough or game-changing moment, because it will change the sort of material required, as well as the efficiency, as well as its end-of-life management. So this is something, a lot of work is going on in this. Then one more area where a lot of work is happening is in the field of coating being applied on the solar panels. So those coatings can reduce the soiling, and once the soiling is reduced, then the generation is increased, one thing. Second is you require lesser water for cleaning those panels. So that is again in line with the sustainability requirement. So our institute also, we are working with 2 industries in this, and the results have been very encouraging, and we expect some good results in this. Now the second aspect is you require land for installing solar plants. So the land selected should be with a minimal social impact. For example, recently we have released this solar PV potential assessment of the country. So in that we have shown that if we utilize only wasteland and not going more than 10% of wasteland anywhere, any part in the country, then even then we can install 3,300 gigawatt of only ground mounted plants. So this is something that you have to ensure that the land selected should not harm the environment. In this we have started a joint work with the Nature Conservancy, TNC, where we are working on that how, suppose there are 2 options for selection of land. So one way of looking at it is from the electricity output only. But what are the other social parameters? So we are working, and as a test case, we will be doing this for 2 states initially. Then one more work we are doing with TNC is, can we use the abandoned coal mines for installation of solar plants? This is another area we are working. So this is something, the siting of solar plants with minimal impact on the, minimal social impact and environmental impact. Then this leads to another, this rooftop solar is a good example of that, because you are not using any additional land in that. So that is why promotion of rooftop solar is very important. And a great, I say USP of solar energy is it's the best, most modular type of system. If you install a 1 kilowatt plant, then only you require the same panels. If you install a gigawatt scale plant, only the number increases. It's a perfect modular system. That is why it is best utilized in decentralized way. Then dual use, this is also being explored. Can I install a plant and under that I promote agriculture? So less utilization of land plus augmenting the agricultural income. This is another area. And one more thing which is coming up is the BIPV, building integrated PV, where the building material, for example, the window glass which you use, it is of PV material. It is serving as a glass as well as generating electricity. So this is another example where without compromising on land use, you can install solar PV and generate electricity. And we are working in all these areas actually. Now, the next important thing is combining with other sectors. When the sun is shining during daytime, excess energy is available. It should be utilized, for example, for EV charging. It should be utilized for green hydrogen generation. So that will serve the energy requirements as well as it is again in true sense of sustainability that you are making optimal use of it. Then peer-to-peer trading is also gaining attraction, that how you can enter into an agreement with the user of electricity you are generating through your solar plant and somebody is buying directly. And improved forecasting is again is a very important area, because that will ensure optimal utilization of the energy generated. Then one more important thing which will be of interest to you is now we are developing a PV power plant rating mechanism. So mostly plants are evaluated based on their electrical output. Now in this rating mechanism, what we are doing is we are using, one will be electrical parameter, the other will be the environmental impact parameters, the site selection, the regulatory performance and all, and then the plant will be rated from 1 to 10. So some of the countries which are doing well in solar, they are working on it. We are also working on it. And we are on an advanced stage. We have developed the framework and we'll be testing it with some of the plants. So finally the last 2 points only. So the next is once the panel completes its life, what happens to it? So there are two aspects to it. One is reuse of solar panel. So any standard panel, even after 25 years, it is supposed to generate 80% of its initial rated energy. So if a panel has degraded but it is intact, if you do not break it, it will continue generating. So if it is not suitable for utility scale plant, can it be used for, say, off-grid street light and all? So this is reuse of panels. So we need some standard mechanism for it, that a panel can qualify for reuse, but with minimum number of tests. It should not happen that so many tests are recommended that it become costlier than a new panel. So we are developing a standard mechanism that how to test for reuse. And last is the recycling. If a panel is damaged, it is not generating electricity, it may happen during manufacturing, it may happen during installation, or ultimately when it has completed its life. So although there are many challenges in recycling of panels, primarily because of their long life. They have warranty of 25 years. So how to ensure a panel which is manufactured today, 25, 30, 35 years, how to ensure the recycling of that? That is one implementation part. Second is the technology part. So the work is going on whether mechanical is suitable or chemical is suitable. Then the third is how to carry the panels, because these are heavy, large panels, to this recycling plant. Can we dismantle at the site and then bring those to the recycling plant. So all these questions are being worked upon. Different institute, different organizations are working. And policy level also, at the highest level, this is being considered. And we expect some policy and technological development in this. So these are some of the points which, as I have mentioned in the beginning, that I feel solar is the best bet as of now for decarbonization of electricity, and we are doing very well. But now we can, some of the concepts or factors which I have mentioned, by taking care of these, we can make it much more environmental friendly in line with the sustainability initiatives. So I thank you all for your patient hearing, and I thank the organizers for making me a part of this program. Thank you so much.